Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Papa Boris here, playing some more Krumit's Tale. We have finished a run with all 5 heroes, and man, none of that went as I expected. I won with Moldorf and Rose, died with the other 3, Mischief and Bruno for stupid reasons. Bruno actually died the earliest, even though I thought I'd have the easiest time winning with him, so we're sticking on normal mode. Let's go ahead and try it again, and see what happens. So we're at the farmhouse, I think? Yes, this is the one that has the farmers, and then also it has the guards, which in some ways is the hardest of the early levels just because the guards do 4 damage to you instead of 3 like all the other level 1 enemies. Still though, this is going to be very easy because we got both chainmails. I mean, it's pretty easy with Bruno regardless of what you get early on, at least on normal difficulty. Now when you get onto New Game +1 and you have only 8 health instead of 10, it's a little bit trickier because you can only kill 2 things without dying instead of 3. That does require a little bit more finesse, but I think New Game +1 you can, and New Game +2 for that matter, and possibly New Game +3 should still be able to end with 50 bonus gems. So we'll go all the way down. Now notice, if I did have only 2 health right here, I could just buy a chainmail, heal up to, that would be 4, and then drop down to 1. It's not like a huge deal. If you get the chainmail early, if you don't have a chainmail in the opening board, then that can cause a little bit of a tricky situation sometimes. Now the nice thing about chainmail, it is a pretty crappy item, but as far as starting items go, it's pretty good. It's like a 2-2-2, 2 gold, 2 block, 2 uses, and you know, there's a decent number of enemies that do 2 attack and that you can kill with just your base attack of 2, taking 0 damage, just with 1 use of chainmail. These guards, the skeletons, then there's like those little rat guys, and the globbers as well, that you can kill with just a single use of chainmail. Okay, here I don't care about the parrying, but I will just use this chainmail simply to block 2 damage. If these were skeletons, I would actually take no damage. And then I actually don't need anything anymore, but we'll buy the bucket helm for fun. And we're gonna go ahead and kill this thing. Okay, so once again, a good start. But that's one nice thing about Bruno. It's just very, very easy as long as you basically get your armors to beat the first level without using any tiles. Okay, some interesting stuff here. I'm actually going to take a look at the stamp first. Okay, so it didn't quite get what I was hoping for. What I was hoping for is either the Jester stamp or the balanced stamp. So this is a really good, I don't want to pay 5 gold for it though. So you either want the balanced stamp to make all your abilities cost 2, or you want the Jester stamp that randomizes the cost of all the tiles on the board when you discard a tile. However, that's not gonna work because I didn't get either of those. And then this, you get amazing value from it if you have the Jester stamp, because then it can show up at any time and you pitch any tile and it's going to have a cost randomized from 0 to 5 that then keeps dropping by 2 whenever you kill an enemy. The main problem with this axe is it's great to have a 6 attack, 3 use weapon, but if it is late in your deck, you're not going to be able to get it out in time to kill enough enemies with it. Now this is whatever. I guess we'll take Flex. I'm not going to use it early on, and I'm just going to hope that I can synergize with it in the future by some means or other. This is probably the safer pick because if you don't get like a good weapon early on, then you might have trouble on the 2nd level or on the 3rd level, which is your first boss level. But I'm going to go for the future with Flex and hope that the shop will give me what I need. Now, as for this goes, I'd love to take Privilege. I just don't think I can really pull it off. This is a Hate Blessings. I don't think they're very good. So we're either getting 3 random potions or just increasing the maximum dex size. I'm actually going to increase the max dex size. 3 random potions are good, but I'm going to gamble that with Bruno's ability to get lots of bonus gems in the early levels, we can actually buy good stuff to put into the deck and make really good use of that intelligent stamp. Okay, let's go shopping right now. Okay, so we got some decent stuff here. This is totally great. You can, you know, kill swamp golems and stuff. You gotta, you know, damage it somehow, like maybe hit it one time and then execute it, which is totally fine. I like to have that there. Some interesting stuff here. So this is not one of my favorite of Bruno's items. 4 block and 3 uses is good. 4 gold is kind of high for that though. And the thorns are usually not that impressive. Now this is very interesting. You can use this 5 block, 2 gold item an unlimited time. Unlimited number of times, but you have to pay a gold every time you use it. I'm gonna go for it though. This can be crazy strong. And then this is interesting. I'm gonna take it. Basically, I am tempted to get this just to have an extra weapon in the deck, but I'm hoping we can just kind of crawl through the first couple of levels, and maybe after the next dungeon, we'll get something in the shop. Now, this is not my favorite batch of enemies, because the globbers and the stealthy blitz poison guys, they can actually be very annoying. However, the globbers do die to chainmail and nothing else. So as long as I can just get a chainmail out and cough up a couple of gold, I'll be fine. Problem is, how do I get my first couple of gold? You take a lot of damage if you just fight these guys bare naked. You take basically 3 from this poison, plus another 3, which is 6. What else am I gonna do? You know, I'm gonna just do it. It seems kind of awful, but basically, I've got a health potion coming up, which will allow me to kill another one, and then I'll have the 2 gold that I need to get this chainmail. Now, if that health potion weren't there, I might feel differently about it. Okay, so now let's do this again. So the way it's going to work is we're going to take 2 poison damage, and then heal, so that cancels the poison damage, and puts me out of range of this 3 attack, dropping down to a very perilous 1, which would not have worked on New Game +1. But now I have 2 gold, which is huge, because it allows me to buy this chainmail, which heals me for 2. And I am just going to use up both ticks of it to kill both of these globbers. So essentially I spent 2 gold to get 2 gold back. It was just a way of, you know, getting through the dungeon. I'm not super concerned about not spending tiles here, simply because I actually have more tiles than usual, since I did basically buy, I think, 3 things in the shop. Yes, I bought 3 things in the shop when normally you could have only bought 1 because of the intelligence stamp. So I've got essentially 2 extra tiles in the deck than I normally would. Okay, so the question is, what do we do here? If we buy this thing, then we are not going to be able to use it unless we eat this chest, which is, you know, not a terrible option. I could do that. I could buy this bucket helm, although it does not let me parry a globber, unfortunately. I'd love to see my other chainmail. I'm going to make a bit of a tech play here. We're going to grab this taunt, and we're going to shuffle everything that's not an enemy into the board and making it all cheaper by 1. So I was hoping that that would give the chainmail out, which it did. Now I do need 1 more gold, and at this point it's going to be a little bit tricky for me to get that other gold without discarding something. So I'm just going to go ahead and discard something. I will just discard this flex. I'm clearly never going to buy it. So I get 2 health and a gold, and now I can pick up this chainmail for 2 more health, and now I can kill a globber without taking any damage. Okay, so the major question now is, what do I do next? Can I squeeze out some kind of an advantage here? If one of these had cost 1, I could have actually killed this in 2 hits without using it and only taken 3 damage. As it is, I'm not going to worry about not squandering tiles. We'll just go ahead and use up the chainmail to kill this globber. So now I've used up 2 tiles, I've used up my chainmails. But now I can just buy this, I think, and get this free bucket helm. And the bucket helm, that was just for healing. And now I can just basically to eat the 6 damage. I don't even need to, I can just use my last gold and get this 5 block up here to block 3. And then we kill it. So all in all, I do think I'm going to have 50 gems at the end of this fight. I think. Maybe? 55! Look at me go! I'm unstoppable! Okay, we got one of my favorite tiles here, the crowbar, which actually is great because the upcoming level is going to have that armor gaining guy. This, one thing I haven't really ever thought about this is that you can actually destroy armor with it. So it's not necessarily useless on levels with enemies who don't have armor, because there are enemies that don't have armor but do play blocks. And then normally you have to like kind of be awkward and flee away to get rid of the blocks they play, but instead you can just use this crowbar. So I love crowbar, we're going to pick it up. Perk is interesting here. Unfortunately, there's just nothing good here. This is quite sad. So the miner is fine, but I'm going to have just a zillion gems anyway, so this is really just max health increased by 2. This is, you know, a couple extra damage when you have at least 4 blocks. This is just, basically, if you want to just like punt your run, obviously parrying is very important for Bruno. And then this is, when am I going to flee? So it's between 2 maximum health or a couple extra damage here and there. I guess we'll take this, although I'm really not thrilled about that selection. Okay, not what I was hoping for at all. I would have liked to get some good armor, which Bruno has tons of. or a good weapon, which just did not happen. So this is a mediocre weapon. This is a really mediocre weapon. This thing's fine, but you often can't really kill anybody with it, and it's limited to just the top row. Increase your base attack by 3, take damage twice to recharge. I see, so it's just one, and you pay 4 gold to pick it up. You know what? I'm gonna do an early flip. Bruno has so much good armor. So much good armor. All right, well, it's, you know, nothing super great here, but okay. So this thing is interesting. This is whatever. We're gonna get this. It's good. It's 3 gold is kind of a lot, but it is 6 armor, 3 uses. You can't use weapons alongside it. That's totally fine. It's not a big deal. This is actually pretty nifty. So it's kind of like a tranquilizer, but it's cheaper by 1. However, it doesn't completely nullify the attack. It makes it an attack 2, but in a way that can sometimes, usually not, but sometimes that is actually good, because sometimes that makes it so that you can block it and then parry the next attack, which you can't do if the enemy's sleeping. I'm going to get another one of these executes. It's for the future. So now I got to pitch something. I really hate these slashes, so we're going to get rid of that. And we're also going to get rid of all these swords. Eventually, we'll get rid of the bucket helm. So there's a bunch of stuff I want to get rid of. Bruno's starting deck is, well, it's just trash. So there's no bones about it. Now, we got probably the best boss we could. This guy gets armor whenever you kill an enemy, but we have a crowbar, so you can get all the armor you like, dude. We could even make some tech plays, like destroy his armor with the crowbar, and then kill another enemy to give him 1 armor, and then destroy that on purpose, just to, you know, get an extra use out of the crowbar, because the crowbar also gives you armor, or a 1-tick plate mail whenever you break someone's armor with it. Okay, we got a very lucky opener here. We got all the basic skeletons, so I'm not even going to think about this too much. We're just going to kill 3 of them, taking us down to 1 health. There are those, like, armored skeletons that hit for 3 every other attack and 2 every other attack, but I didn't get any of those at the beginning, which is great, because it means I can knock these guys out while I'm weak, and then by the time the strong guys come up, I can be strong, which is, you know, what you kind of want. Now, I could buy this taunt to make the helmet cheaper, and these, I'm not sure I'm going to use these, so this isn't really going to give me that much value other than making the helmet cheaper. So I'm not super concerned about it. The main thing is that this recharges after you kill 3 enemies, so you can, like, buy it early, and then, like, you know, start to recharge it, whereas if I don't buy it now and I don't use it now, then this is actually not going to be recharging. I'm not super concerned about it, though. I might not even buy it at all. Okay, so we're down to 1 health. Strategically. And then another skeleton's out here. That's fantastic. So very, very lucky. Let's go ahead and buy this plate helm for the healing. And let's pick up this health potion, drink it 1 time. I don't mind drinking it another time, by the way, and using it. I think around the 3rd level, and I think really past the 3rd level, you gotta, like, stop worrying too much about not using up tiles. That's my problem. I'm always, like, over-analyzing, like, oh, but if I don't do this, then I can't use that. So anyway, let's go ahead and now think. Either I'm going to get this taunt, making the chainmail cheaper would actually be kind of useful. Or I can drink this. Yeah, I'm just going to drink this potion so I can kill the skeleton. It would have been nice to have the chainmail here to block the damage. Maybe I should have just pitched something for a gold, but whatever. Okay, so there's the boss. I definitely don't want to fight him until I get my crowbar. So you guys are 3 and 2. It's kind of awkward. I would have liked to have my bucket out here so I could do the bucket plus the chainmail to parry that. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I could just use this plate helm. What do you hit for? 4 or 5? Yeah, I want to use the plate helm definitely on the boss. I am going to get this chainmail just mainly for the healing, and we're going to see where we're at with it. So now I want to get this crowbar. Okay, so let's eat the chest. And yeah, so all the skeletons have run out, so I need to pitch something for the crowbar. I'm fine with that. Let's pitch that for 2 health and a gold. Get the crowbar. Now I need to make sure I save 1 use of this for the boss, but right now let's go ahead and use the chainmail for yet another skeleton. I guess there's a lot of skeletons. That's the nice thing about this level, really, is there's just so many skeletons. You think about that goblin level, that has like the Blitz 3 guys who turn into Blitz 4s, and then it also has like those guys that give you the stupid thing at the end. Those are so much harder than this like army of easy skeletons. Anyhoodle, let's use 1 tick here. So notice this is gonna give me a plate armor with 1 use and destroy the thing's armor. So now I'm gonna use this plate armor I just picked up. Oh, look at those thorns! It doesn't actually matter because with 6 health, it doesn't matter. I would have killed it without taking any damage anyways. And let's do that again. And when you pick up the plate armor, by the way, it actually heals you as well, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I think, is... I was going to actually just fight this guy, but maybe I should wait for the bucket to show up. No, that's dumb. That's got to be stupid. I am going to fight this guy. I'm going to take 3... And then when he's at 2, I'm going to parry with my other tick of the chainmail. And then I take no more damage this fight. Okay, so now we're just going to pick up this Lord's Helm. I can use it 2 more times, basically. And I think it should be enough. So we're going to use the crowbar on this guy. So now we have these 3 armors, and that should just be enough to get through his 20 health very slowly. So let's use the... Actually, I'll use my big one. Maybe I can actually save that. You know, I guess the thorniness is sort of useful because this is quite a grind here. So doing an extra 2 damage to him every single time I parry is not terrible. That might be giving me a couple extra gems. As it turns out, I didn't even actually need the armor there. I could have just killed him normally. Okay, well, we did pretty good that time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. And if you want to stick around, let's go ahead and do the post-battle rewards. My God, I just cannot get a good tile. Well, luckily, we got a good perk. Now, Rich, I would love to have. It really is really good. But I'm going to take Chill because it's just the best stamp in the game. And it's extra good when you parry. Now, for this mediocre weapon keeps showing up. Tranquilizer's fine, but hopefully you're good enough you don't need it. I'm going to take this chest because I do need some gold. And this is great because I have a crowbar. Should be a good level. Oh my God. This is like the 4th time I've seen this damn thing. Unbelievable. Okay. So this thing's interesting. If you increase your maximum health, you can actually kind of treat it as like a permanent +2 base attack thing for 4 gold, which is pretty sweet. But it does take up space in your inventory, and as you take damage, it becomes less and less useful. It also becomes less useful as you fight enemies with more health. This is just a really underwhelming pile of crap. I don't want to spend 3 gold to boost my maximum health. This thing's kind of weird. You can permanently get 2 block, but your base attack is reduced by 1, and right now my base attack's at 2, so unless you're fighting something that never attacks for more than 2, this is not that great. I am just so underwhelmed here. Where are his good armors? Where are his good weapons? I'm going to spend 10 gems to refresh. Okay, well, I asked, and the game sort of delivered. This thing is fine. You can't use other weapons, which is like, why would you? And 7 attack, this is just a good thing to take down big dudes when you need to take down big dudes. This is interesting. You can do this indefinitely. You pay 3 health to get 4 block, and you know, you might think, well, you're only really gaining 1 health, but you're parrying, so you might get an extra round of attack. Do I get a second crowbar? That's a little bit weird. I think we'll stick with 1 crowbar. This thing's interesting because you can do a ton of damage with it if you're at full health, and if your health is full, you also stun an enemy. I'll grab it, even though I don't plan to use it very much. And I guess I'll take a bow. Sometimes it's useful to kill things at the top row. So now we gotta kill some stuff out of the deck. We'll get rid of a slash, and we're gonna start to whittle out these stupid swords. Okay. So we're good to go. We're good to go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe. Should I get this crowbar? Oh my God, I'm gonna get this crowbar. It's probably a dumb move, but let's just get rid of one of these swords that I'm never buying anyways, and I might sell that crowbar later, but I love crowbars. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.